Olivia had always possessed an uncanny ability to read people. A glance, a gesture, a subtle shift in tone. These were all she needed to unravel the tangled threads of someone's deepest thoughts and desires. It was both a gift and a curse, leaving her feeling isolated in a world where everyone's secrets lay bare before her. At 26, she had learned to use her talent sparingly, to blend in and avoid the discomfort her insights often caused. But everything changed the night she met him. The party was in full swing, the air thick with laughter and the clink of glasses. Olivia stood in a corner, nursing a drink and idly scanning the crowd. That's when she saw him, tall, dark-haired, with eyes that seemed to shimmer in the low light. She focused, reaching out with her senses as she always did. Nothing. Frowning, Olivia concentrated harder. Still nothing. For the first time in her life, she encountered a mind completely closed to her. Intrigued and unsettled, she made her way across the room. "I'm Olivia," she said, extending her hand. He smiled, a gesture that didn't quite reach his eyes. "Michael, pleasure to meet you." As they talked, Olivia found herself drawn in by his charm and wit. Yet beneath her growing attraction, a seed of unease took root. She couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Weeks passed, and Olivia's fascination with Michael grew. They met for coffee, dinner, long walks in the park. She reveled in the novelty of not knowing his every thought, of experiencing surprise and uncertainty. But as time wore on, that initial seed of discomfort grew. Small inconsistencies in his stories, the way his smile never quite reached his eyes, the coldness that sometimes flashed across his face when he thought she wasn't looking. One evening, after Michael had excused himself to take a phone call, Olivia found herself alone at their table in a quiet restaurant. His jacket hung on the back of his chair, and a small leather-bound notebook peeked out from the pocket. Heart pounding, she glanced around before quickly pulling it out. She opened it, telling herself she just wanted to understand him better. Page after page was filled with meticulous observations about her habits, her preferences, her weaknesses. At the end of each entry was a clinical assessment of how to best manipulate her emotions and actions. Horror washed over Olivia as she realized the truth. She hadn't been reading Michael. He had been reading her. And he had been doing it with a cold, calculating precision that made her own abilities seem like child's play. She heard footsteps approaching. Quickly, she shoved the notebook back into his jacket and tried to compose herself. Michael slid into his seat, his eyes no longer shimmering, but cold and hard as stone. "Is everything all right, Olivia?" he asked, his voice carrying an edge she'd never noticed before. "You look unsettled." As she met his gaze, Olivia realized with terrifying clarity that for all her gift of insight, she had no idea what this man was capable of. And for the first time in her life, she was truly, deeply afraid.